I couldn't think of a more perfect first guest for the Club Crave podcast. I never thought in a million years I'd be sitting in a cute little podcast studio in LA talking with Christy Cook. So I'm just like, I just want people to know, like, if you want things, you have free will. You can chase those things. How does that feel to have the queen of the internet scrolling your content, trying to come up with content for her own podcast? What is that like?
I'm like, girl, we're doing the same thing. Because I'm like, sometimes Oscar gets these niche stories and I'm like, oh, like that's good.
Yeah.
Like, she needs to be on Netflix. Like now I watch some of the videos back. I'm like, well.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Club Crave podcast. Guys, as you can tell, we're not in the home studio. I'm not in Nashville. It's a very exciting week. I am in Los Angeles this week for Trisha Paytas, our queen. Had two shows this week, one in Long Beach and one in Thousand Oaks. I just went to the Long Beach show. It was an incredible show, and then we'll be going to the Thousand Oaks show on Friday this week. So super excited for that. But I thought, since the two shows are, on the weekends, I'm going to stay the whole week and just hang out with my friends here. And I was like really trying to manifest this. And we're here. I think it's the power of Trisha Paytas and the manifesting of it all. We know that she, is always manifesting things, which we have a lot to talk about because there's a lot going on in Trisha's life right now. But we have a very exciting and special guest today. I cannot believe she's sitting here with me right now. Before I introduce her, I'm going to give you a rundown on what the Club Crave podcast is and what to expect if you're new to the channel. So this podcast is created by fans and it's for fans. We dive into the internet subcultures, discussing different hot topics, interviewing influencers and their biggest fans. I'm your host, Nick Williams. I run a couple different fan accounts, but the main one being Oscar Crave, which is a fan account for Oscar Gracie, the co-host of the Just Trish podcast. And I run around, do all kinds of different interviews on the streets after Trisha's shows, and then also just kind of put out different updates and similar to Pop Crave in a way with the, Miley Cyrus stuns a new photo. Well, Oscar Gracie is now stunning in new photos every week, so check it out. All right. Now, to introduce my very first guest on the Club Crave podcast, Christy Cook, a.k.a. Spill Sesh.
Wait, first guest? What
Very
the heck?
first
Wait, I
guest.
didn't know this.
Yes.
Wait, I'm gagged. I'm honored. Aw, stop.
Yes, thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Told Jessica, who's here, kind of acting as assistant, I told her, Christy's kind of doing some charity work this weekend.
No, stop it. No, stop.
Thank you for doing
You
though,
DM'd
it
me and I
means
was
so
like, oh
much.
yeah, I definitely want to make it work. I had on my calendar. I was like, I'm making this happen. Because I'm not doing anything this
seriously,
week.
It means so much that you're here.
Oh, stop. Thanks for having me.
It is so surreal to hear her voice in person, you guys, because I spent years just like listening to her content and then seeing her finally, and then it's just like, this is crazy.
Once anonymous.
I can't believe
Sounded
it.
a little
How old
different
are you?
than 28.
Okay, me too. I
No
thought we were
way.
the same age. I was like, okay, that's perfect. I know so many people in LA, but everyone's younger than me.
Yeah.
A lot of people are younger than me, and especially in the Trish fandom, there's a lot of younger fans too.
Yeah.
So it's nice to meet somebody my age. Love.
Love. Yeah, in the pop culture space, I feel like it skews like younger sometimes, or just like it's just all over the place. I never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to introduce Christy, she is the creator and face of Spill Sesh, an absolutely iconic brand and media company, would you say?
Yes, I would. I would love that to be a thing.
Just speak it into existence right now.
We'll speak that title in.
Christy breaks down the latest celebrity gossip, influencer drama, and viral pop culture news. She went from being a lover of all things journalism. She worked at TMZ. She was an anonymous creator, and then she broke the internet with her iconic face reveal on to becoming an on-camera public figure. And now she is still making lots of content, and she is now signed with UTA. Is that right?
It is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. She's amassed nearly 1 million subscribers on YouTube, nearly 500,000 followers on TikTok. And she recently started a new podcast with her friend Sloan Hooks called Poppity, which I'm a huge fan of, by the way.
Poppity is our little baby that we're blossoming to the world after we had the idea for it last year. So the fact that it's actually out and people are seeing these interviews, that some of them are so old that we're just like, all right, we're rolling with it, hoping everyone likes it.
Yeah, and I remember you guys talked about it for a while, this project you're working on. I'm so glad that it's finally out into the world. We love.
Yeah, it's definitely taken some time. And a lot of the interviews, because they're so old, we're seeing the feedback and we're itching to just get into doing more newer interviews, because we're okay, we know how to do them now, and we want them to look a certain way now. So we're just okay, let's put all the old ones out and then start doing some new ones. So we shot one last week that we're putting out this week. So that was gonna be our most current one.
It's so good. I loved when you guys were talking about all the celebrities who've blocked you online.
Oh yeah.
I ate that up. I was I didn't know all that. That's crazy.
I didn't even know some of the ones that Sloan had. I was what? I need to know right now.
Yeah, honestly, rite of passage, right? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and some of them I'm okay, sure. Jeffree Star blocked me, okay.
That's okay.
And so what?
Maybe that feels kind of good,
Honestly, right? Because he's a little problematic. I'm okay, well, I don't need that energy, so it's fine.
Well, I'm super excited to have you on because, well, you're my first guest. I just really find your career inspiring.
Thanks.
And you're kind of doing a lot of what I hope to do one day. You're on red carpets. You're going to all these really cool Hollywood premieres and you're covering them, interviewing people. I saw you interviewing at Dancing with the Stars.
That was unreal.
That was so cool. I couldn't think of a more perfect first guest for the Club Crave podcast. So.
Stop. I see it for you. Honestly, I remember last year at this time of the year, Sloan and I were just how are people in the pop culture space going to all these events and how are they interviewing people? We want it so bad. And then this year we found ourselves at the things that we were talking about wanting to go to. Yeah. And I really think it has to do with short form content. And it really doesn't have to do with followers either. I really think that it was posting on Instagram and then posting on TikTok. But I also feel Instagram's kind of like LinkedIn these days, because a lot of companies are looking at Instagram specifically for, who's posting about our shows and who's talking about whatever is coming out next. And I feel that's how we've been able to go to stuff, is just in talking about shows that we liked, and then people being oh, do you want to come to this or this? And I'm oh my God, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're booked. Every week you're at a different event nowadays, right? She is booked and we're lucky to have her today.
Not this week.
Yeah.
This week is reserved for the podcast.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I guess we want to get into your lore a little bit, if you're okay with that.
Sure, we could get into the lore.
Definitely want to I know you recently were on the Rodiculous podcast, right?
Yes.
Rodiculous, is that is how you say it? Yeah. And she kind of got into the lore quite a bit. So we're going to try to ask some different questions, but to not, if you saw that interview with Christy, to try to spice it up a little bit and get some different lore from you. Okay. I really want to start maybe back in high school.
Yeah.
Instead of going right to TMZ. What was high school like for you? And maybe tell us about your interests and your hobbies, and maybe were you involved in any extracurriculars?
Yeah, I feel maybe I went to a very particular high school where everyone felt like they knew what they wanted to do when they got older, because it was a college prep high school, but
Bouge.
They had a lot of programs like pre-med, pre-law, and we had a media class where we made tons of videos, but it wasn't the iMovie, we're using the effects. We competed.
Okay, love.
It was honestly, it was a little toxic and we took it way too seriously and it was very competitive. And my mom told me that I'd probably never have a bad boss because like our teacher was just so nasty to us. But we worked so hard and we were so competitive with each other and we wanted to make the best videos. And at the time, my dream was to work at like 60 Minutes or 2020 and make these packages telling people stories. And even in middle school, like the only reason I even went to this particular high school is because in middle school, we had a morning announcements and I was obsessed with just like not being on camera, but the behind the scenes or like the production of it all. I wanted to do something that had to do with broadcasting. And so my parents saw that and it didn't continue on in that high school. So I switched schools. And I guess my parents made the right move because I was just so happy being in this world and getting the opportunity to make these videos and compete and enter competitions. So then when I was going to college, I knew exactly what I wanted to do in some realm. I would have taken any media job like under the sun. I just knew I wanted to work.
That's cool. I feel like a lot of people in high school and going into college, they don't know what they want to do. I switched my major like 3 or 4 times. I started actually in journalism. I wanted to do the same thing, but I think a lot of people at the time, since we're the same age, you probably may have heard some of this, is like media was kind of dying a little bit, like news media. And like, they were like, a lot of like people are getting their news on Twitter now and, you know, print and like, TV broadcast is kind of like a dying art, and I was kind of scared that we're going to graduate and not get a job afterwards, you know, and that maybe was coming from a small town in Indiana. That's where, you know, they tell you not to pursue some of the things you love to do because they're worried you won't make money or, you know, get a 401k plan, that kind of a thing.
Which is sad.
I know. It's like people just do what you want to do and not listen to the other people, because honestly, they stayed back in their hometown, and I think about that all the time. It's probably part of them projecting a little bit because they didn't go and pursue the things that they wanted to do. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, you're right. Back then, it was mostly like print. I mean, video was huge too, but I do feel like when you thought about journalism, you always had to write. Yeah. And I was not the best writer. I knew how to make videos, but writing was not my strong suit. And in college, all the jobs that I was applying to, you had to be a writer. And so that's what I was doing. But I was like, oh, like, how can I incorporate video or something that is like a visual element into all the things that I was creating? So yeah, I don't know. I was just always so obsessed.
Do you have any projects that you worked on in high school that you like have fond memories of, or you're like, that was really cool that I did that in high school? Like, or did you interview anybody that was interesting, or a package you put together, anything like that?
I probably made like a video a week in high school. Like, we were always making content, just whether it was for a competition or something. And I don't know. I mean, I think some of the things I'm like most proud of are probably in the competition days, because we would go, there were state competitions and then there were national competitions where you would go to a convention and there would be a bunch of different, you know, competitions you could compete in. And one of the ones that my friend and I would enter would be one where they gave you like a topic, whether it would be like a word or a phrase, and they would be like, okay, you have 6 hours to go and make a story out of this. And maybe the word was like passion or something. And then we would go to the cafe next door and interview the owner and talk about how they started the business and, you know, their goals. And we would find out like the craziest thing. Like, you know, one time we went to a bakery and the bakery ended up being on like Cupcake Wars. Oh, cool. So then that was our whole story. We got back, we edited it, and we submitted it. Yeah. And, you know, some of these projects we won awards for. And at the time, that was like the most amazing thing for us. So I mean, thinking about it now, I'm like, okay, what the heck? Like, I was like 16 doing that. That sounds like, that's like not normal. Yeah. But to us, at our very crazy competitive high school, this was so normal. Yeah. So.
And it makes so much sense seeing where you are now and like how at that age, like being able to like really immerse yourself in that. And like editing is like not easy, you guys. Like, I feel like people don't realize editing this podcast takes me, I want to say like, I don't know. Sometimes it takes, if I'm really trying to like put in little cute like things and like, I don't know, different motion graphics and stuff. It can take like 8 hours to film like an hour podcast. And that's a lot of time. I have a full-time job. That's why the consistency sometimes is not we're trying to be weekly. We're going to get there eventually. I promise you guys. I did hire an editor recently and that was a game changer. Have you ever used an editor?
I have. I've used an editor before a couple of times, especially if it's a video that I'm not going to post for a while, something that's kind of more like a deeper dive.
Yeah.
But most of the content, 99% of the content I'm editing myself just because I'm like, I need it tomorrow. And then I feel bad if I'm like sending it to someone and I'm like, I need it like right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I'm just like, I could just do it.
Do you have any like control freak moments where you're just like, you don't want to give it to somebody to do because you just want to like make it perfect?
A little bit. I mean, I know that there's amazing editors out there and people that are just way better than me. I think maybe I just have like a hard time of saying exactly how I want. I think it would have to be where someone sat next to me and just like saw how I did it and then learned that way. But if I have to describe how it is through like an email, I'm like, they're not going to get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though I'm sure they will, but I'm just like paranoid. I don't know.
The back and forth can be a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess if you want to talk about your experience with TMZ and like how that got started, I guess like what was that journey from college to TMZ?
Yeah, well, so high school was very crazy, and then I didn't really know what college was going to look like because I wanted to come to LA so bad, or just California in general, because I felt like there were more job opportunities for me to apply to here in the world of entertainment and broadcast, or
very
just
smart
anything.
Yeah.
But it's so expensive, and I didn't want to do that at all. I didn't want to like take out a loan or anything, and my parents had like prepaid. I don't know how they did it, but it was like something in Florida where you could like prepay your college from the year that you're born.
Indiana, where I'm from, had something like that. Yeah.
So to save money, I went to a smaller Florida school, and I was just doing normal college basic classes, but I was like itching. I was like, oh my God, I want to work. And a girl from the year before me in high school had done a college program at USA Today where she wrote for them as like a college student. So I applied to that. I got that. I was writing. I was creating some videos with articles, but it was only like a 6-month thing. And then after that, I had like a stint where I was making like food content videos.
Yes.
And I did that. I loved cooking. That would have been my other avenue of video subjects. And then I was like, I need to go to California. I told my parents after my freshman year of college, I was like, I need to go. And they listened. And that summer of me kind of convincing them, I applied to every job in California and like already had my location as that I lived there so that they wouldn't know I had to move. And I got an email from Warner Brothers about being a tour guide. Okay, and so I became a Warner Brothers.
That's so cool. I love.
I
love that tour, by the way.
It's a good tour.
Really great.
It's different now, though. The Warner Brothers tour is like way better now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if better. It's more of the Universal like experience now. But back then when we did it, there was no script.
Oh, okay.
We would just go in like whichever stages were open, and it was definitely more of like a free for all than it is now, where it's very by the book and more of a ride, and it was fun back then. But I was there for a couple of months and then still applying to all these different jobs, and eventually I got this email from TMZ and I was like, what? I don't even remember applying to this, but I was applying to so many things. So I'm like, I don't know. And I did an interview and became an intern. So that began my like 4-year ride there, where I was an intern, and then I said, I was like, I'm not going back to school. I'm doing it online. So I'd love to keep having a job. And so then I became a PA, and then a woman was pregnant in the office, and they asked me to fill in for her while she was on maternity leave. She ended up not wanting to come back to work. And so then I took her job, and she was a photo coordinator. So essentially we just looked at Instagram all day long and wrote captions and
that's so cool
things.
And I think that's something like if somebody out there is watching and they want to, pursue a career like that, I think it's kind of like a good example of like how circumstances can just fall into your lap. Because like the lady getting pregnant and leaving, you probably didn't expect she was ever going to leave.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
So like, I think, some people can hear internship and like, oh, that sounds like I'm getting coffee, or, I'm just going to be, the bottom of the rung. I mean, everyone, you kind of have to start there, right? Like in entertainment. And with the, PA assistant job too, like that, it's tough at the bottom of the rung, but, you just wait it out, things will happen. And like magically you're where you wanted to be, so I think that's a good, thing to remember. Is like you can really, like get into internal and go, I don't think I'm ever going to get to that point because you come from a small town, or like, you don't think it's possible for you. But I don't think anyone who's kind of made it ever thought it was possible. I mean, probably something internally told you, I want this, I really want this, but like you don't know it until you're there. So, keep going. And
for sure.
Like I think that's like a big thing for me, is like, because I do come from a small town where I never thought in a million years I'd be sitting in a cute little podcast studio in LA talking with Christy Cook. So I'm just like, I just want people to know, like, if you want things, you can, you have free will. You can chase those things.
100%. I think like speaking things into existence, it sounds so stupid. And like some people would be like, that's not true. Mm-hmm. But I do think it actually does work. And also like writing things down. But it was a matter of me vocalizing at the time when I was an intern. I need a full-time job. I'm not.
And I remember it was in one of your interviews you were in. You said that like you made it known you wanted to stay at TMZ.
Yeah.
You wanted to stick around and get a full-time job there. So
yeah,
I love that. And do you think it took like a certain type of like assertiveness that you had to kind of speak up in moments that maybe it scared you a little bit to kind of say like, I want to be here?
I mean, I think it definitely was like conversations with my boss at the time that he was running all the interns. And I was just like, you have got to know that I want to be here and I have the time to be here, because I think the interns only had to come in 3 days a week, but then I started coming in every day. Okay, and I was like, I could stay. You keep me, put me wherever. And I also was open to any department. I was like, I will take any job, where some PAs didn't want to, be in certain departments, or like they didn't know how to edit, or they didn't want to do like there was like a sister site and they like didn't want to be, it was like more girly than TMZ.
Yeah. Okay.
And so a lot of people were just waiting. They would like be PAs waiting for a job to open up in the department that they were waiting for. And I was sitting there, I was like, I'll take anything.
Yeah. And I feel like your high school career and everything you were involved in probably prepared you to be able to do any of the departments, because you got all that experience in all the different areas of production. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I do think that it prepared me. Even I was even ready to write if I so had to.
I remember those journalism classes and some of the writing classes, because I was only in the journalism major for, I want to say like 6 months, but they were tough.
It was no joke.
Yeah. All right. Well, so anything else about the TMZ that we should, know about your lore? Anything else like?
I mean, it was a ride while I was there. I was there for 4 years. And I think, it's one of those things where I'm like, I would have taken any job at the time. And just because I work there doesn't mean I'm like obsessed with the place. I love the place. I'm rooting for the place. Because obviously people have their thoughts and opinions about TMZ and their ethics and how they work. I think I just was a sponge. I just like was absorbing everything that was around me of how are they working, and, the things that they're doing, the topics, how they're covering stories. I was just observing everything. And there were obviously crazy times. Like I saw Kanye come to the office. That was a big deal.
That's wild.
I just, that had become like the number one story I would tell like on a first date. I'd be like, oh, well, yep, you won't believe this. That's what that became.
Topic on a first date.
Yeah. Because people would always ask, they'd be like, oh, what do you do for work? I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you what I really do for work, because it's like anonymous. And then it starts to sound like I do like OnlyFans or something. And then they ask more questions. And I'm like, well, I can't really tell you what I do for work. And that sounds really sketchy. But I'll tell you about what I used to do. Yeah. So it's been a ride.
Yeah. Okay. So when we first started getting into creating your own content online, did you just kind of throw something out there and see what would stick?
Yeah. While I was working at TMZ, I started making food videos because I had done that in the past and I really loved cooking. And it wasn't really doing what I wanted it to do. And then one day I saw people talking about like YouTubers. And I was like, wait, like I consume really only YouTube content. And there's other people online that are clearly interested in YouTubers, and mainstream media wasn't covering YouTubers like they are now. I feel like it wasn't until TikTok blew up that people were like, wait, like influencers actually have people that care about them and are interested in their lives. We should cover them.
Yep.
And so I just started making videos like that. And then after some time, I made a video about Trisha and it went crazy. And I was like, whoa, I think I need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I just kept on posting.
I'd say, like, honestly, making videos about Trisha, they do well, you guys, right? I mean, like, people just love her. And, well, she's always been fascinating.
Back then, it was like a wild card moment. It was her calling out the Vlog Squad, and she, like, deleted the video, and then I had downloaded it. Like, I was at the airport, and I was like, okay, like, maybe I'll make a video later. But then I saw she deleted it. I was like, I need to make a video right now.
So you had the video that she had just deleted.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. That was a wild time, and I think people are just so fascinated by her. They're still fascinated by her, and she is the real queen of manifesting these days. Oh my God, yeah. You were talking about how you write things to in existence. Like, that's all she talks about is like the manifesting, and she says, like, you know, you can talk things to in existence. You can, like, you know, picture them, but she says the most powerful is to write it down. So I love that you said that. It's like everything she says happens. Everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need her to start saying stuff for me. No, I know. My friend Ben Verde, he actually was on the podcast, on the Just Trish podcast last year. He brought Trish popcorn buckets for the Wicked rollout. But he's part of the fandom. And he, wait, where was I going with this? The popcorn buckets? No, what were we just... Oh, manifesting? The manifesting of it all. Yes. He is an actor. And he's trying to, you know, manifest like a career in acting. And at the meet and greet on, was it Saturday? Yeah, on Saturday, he wrote down all these, like, you know, manifesting, like, I am an actor. Like, I'm a big time actor. I'm getting a role in Euphoria. Those kind of things. And he sat there with Trish and he asked Trish to read them aloud for him. I'm like, okay, there's no way that's not going to happen now. You know what I mean? Wait, that's kind of genius though, because she has like the magic touch these days. Yeah. Literally everything she's wanted. And she, Rachel Zegler, she claims she discovered her because way before she had blown up, you know, Trish tweeted, "This girl is amazing," and that's crazy. And then she ended up performing at her Broadway show earlier this year. So Trish is incredible with the manifesting. And then now, was it today or no? Yesterday she was on set. Have you heard the news about? Well, you made a video about it. I think we were rumored, you know, that Trish is filming something. We don't know what it is. And then there was like somebody maybe on the crew like snuck a video of Trish on set. And wait, what? Yeah, have you not seen this? No, I haven't seen this. I did see her on stage talking about how she was going to be in a big show, a bigger role than Euphoria. It's like Euphoria, but it's not Euphoria, which made me think it was the White Lotus. Me too. I thought it was White Lotus too, but then she said she's filming for one day and it's in LA. So I was like, how could it be White Lotus when they film in different countries usually? Yeah. But unless there's like at the airport or something. True. And the video was at the airport. But she was wearing something with a backpack, like a big blue neon like jacket or something. Anyways, it looked kind of insane. And then in the video, she's like yawning really big. It's iconic because she's like tired. She's been doing all this and she's all day at the studio. Wait, so what do you think it is? Trish Crave actually tweeted this out. They think it's hacks. Oh, and they think they're doing like a little spoof of The Amazing Race. You know, Jake Shane was on Hacks. Yes, right. So I could see it. It makes sense, but I don't know. That's just a rumor, so. Huh. Yeah,
I would love White Lotus. Also, White Lotus makes more sense to me because she's manifested that so much,
And she's like literally Tanya.
And yes,
She's
Jennifer Coolidge's like cousin or something.
Yes,
I mean, put her on there.
exactly. She's in the family.
Right, because everyone's so sad Jennifer Coolidge got killed off. We got to put somebody else in there like her. So I don't know. And she said it's a pretty big role too. So bigger than her Euphoria cameo. So
I wonder.
I know. I'm dying to know what it is, and it's one of those things like I don't know if we'll ever know until obviously until it comes out.
Yeah. I wonder how long it will be until we see like Deadline say what it is.
Oh, right.
I'm like, please, we're all curious. I want to know.
Yeah, Oscar was saying, I hope paparazzi gets her like coming in or something like to the set to film.
Yeah.
Because then they can just talk about it.
Exactly.
It's fine, So, but that's the only little video we got, and there was no other like signs. But like I was hoping in the background there'd be like a call sheet on the wall or something with the name of the project. But
it's probably like a secret name too.
You're
like
right,
it probably wouldn't even say what it really was.
Yeah, I've seen that before when they like put these pages out on the street and it's like project. They name it all kinds of weird stuff. But.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to get back into some of your work with Spill Sesh now. When you first started, you started making, anonymous videos. It was just your voice, and you would put up like, stock images, maybe not stock images, but just like screenshots and different paparazzi photos, things like that. How did you start getting into that after the food era? I just
was consuming so much YouTube content, and in seeing other people make this type of content, I was like, I gotta just really do it and give it like my best shot. And honestly, the anonymous factor of it really was just because the videos that I saw were just text on the screen. So I was like, okay, I could do that.
Something similar to what you were consuming.
And I was
you
like,
just did it better.
No, because I couldn't spell to save my life, and then that's when the voiceover came in.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is just going to save me so much more time if I do the voiceover. But I felt like I could be a little bit more like my personality because I was anonymous in a way, like no one was watching type of deal. Like nobody that I knew was going to like send the video around, because I feel like that's also something in people not wanting to post online is just thinking about what the people that currently follow them are going to think about them and like how they're going to judge them, even though it shouldn't matter. But I was just kind of doing whatever, like I was making funny little edits and jokes and whatnot. And then after some time, like almost 5 years, I was like, okay, maybe it was time to not be anonymous anymore. And I think I just was like, I don't want it to get stale. Like, I don't want the content to get stale. And I wanted to be able to expand the things that I was doing, like not just make YouTube videos, but maybe make TikToks and post on Reels, and also expand to other projects and take meetings and see where it can go.
Yeah. So that was a big moment. And I guess like when you decided to be front facing and show yourself, was that like really nerve wracking for you? Like to finally just post it, like when you hit post, were you just like kind of shaking and freaking out a little bit?
When it came to the day, because I'd filmed the video a month prior, but on that day I was just like, what the heck? Because I didn't really tease it either. I was just kind of like, okay, this is happening and it's happening tomorrow. Like really just threw it out there because I think I didn't want anyone to try to convince me not to post it. Because when I did tease the one video the day before, everyone was like, no, like, don't do it. Like, don't do it. And I'm like, okay, you guys, I have so much anxiety every day that someone's just going to like expose who I am without me being the one to do it.
You got to get rid of that anxiety.
Yeah. And I think people thought it was going to be worse when I did say who I was, or that, people were going to come after me or whatever. I was like, you guys, I feel like it was crazier before I came out. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I'm like, now I'm not bugged about it. So. Yeah,
I don't know. But I guess maybe the anonymous was like, it felt kind of like this could be anybody. Well, that brings me to my next point was everyone thought you were Morgan Adams.
They did think I was Morgan Adams.
And they thought Shane was editing the videos.
They did. And then during his cancellation, everyone would be like, "You're the worst." I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm really not. I'm really not who you think.
That's wild.
But then they think I was Morgan, and they'd be like, "You're a brother-in-law." I'm like, okay, well, I'm actually not related. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And they really believed that it was Morgan Adams. Like, they were like, "It's definitely her." Like, she's planted to help Shane's career. That's insane.
I mean, there was one convincing video that I was like, if I watched this, I'd probably have the conspiracy theory too.
You're like, it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they did something with like, a lot of this came because they were like doing something with AI and the voice modulators, right?
Yes.
Because I was thinking about that in the car on the way over here. I was like, wait, I remembered this, like, because I was very much into the Shane Dawson of it all 3-4 years ago.
When he was doing the conspiracy theories, like even before he did the palette with Jeffrey, when everyone was like, Shane needs to be on Netflix, like now I watch some of the videos back, I'm like, well, it's maybe not the most amazing thing in the world, but at the time,
the cinematic of it all, was, the drama.
The Chuck E. Cheese video sent me to the moon.
Oh, I know. I was like, that is sick.
The pieces like didn't align, and it was like the most dramatic sound effect ever. And everyone's like,
this is crazy.
Is this for real? And I'm sitting there like, no way.
And then the conspiracy palette, Jeffrey's moving the little colors around like his mind.
Have you seen those videos where everyone's like saying like, you've entered flow state?
Yes.
They like edited the Jeffrey and Shane doing that. Or like when he entered like flow state in this moment, I was like, yeah, he did. Like that was the original flow state.
The original flow state, yes.
Yeah, the Shane era was quite the time. That was wild. Yeah. And I remember that, that was really where the conspiracy of me being Morgan stemmed from. Was he did a video testing this AI software where if you read a paragraph, after you read the paragraph, then you can get the AI software to say anything in the voice that just read the paragraph. So then everyone was like, he made Morgan read it, and now he's making these drama videos using her voice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no, it's just me.
They're like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, if it came out that it was Morgan Adams, like what a breaking news story that would have been. That would have been insane.
It would have been so insane. So crazy. But in doing my face reveal, though, everyone was mad that I did it with Manny. Manny was the first video that I ever posted like a topic about, so it kind of made sense to me at the time.
Like you were kind of like just returning to your start, which maybe, no, that makes sense to me, like the thought process. And it's a big decision to do what you did, too. Like, you're very nervous and like probably anxious to do it because you don't know what people are going to say. I think it's brave to put your face out there, and like there's a lot of awful people online, a lot of like also just like young people online that don't have like a profile picture, that just say the nastiest things. And that's something I want to ask about too, is just like the hate comments and like how you handle it all too. Like, because I've probably gotten a few here and there, and I think about them all the time. You know what I mean? It's just like, why do they stick with you so much? But
no, they do. They stand out more than the good ones, like every single time. And I mean, but the internet is funny though. I feel like I can't ever really take some of the comments to heart because I'm like, sometimes I'm just confused. Like with me getting a lot of backlash about Manny, a lot of people were like, you should have had Morgan. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, because I feel like y'all would have ate me up.
Oh yeah,
you would have come for my neck. Are you kidding?
Well, I think they would have put it together.
I feel like Morgan is removed from the situation, and I have seen her, and like I think she's great, but I'm like, you guys would have ate me up for that.
Well, yeah, and I think they would have thought, oh, Morgan's trying to cover this up by picking this random girl and like, saying it's her. But
she's trying to get in with the drama channels. I'm like, okay, you guys, well, wait a minute. It's really just for the fun of it all. That's all it was.
Yeah. Yes, talking about the hate comments of it all, with Trish Crave and me, we did a face reveal. It was our like first time ever doing like a This Is Us. We were at Trishmas last year, and underneath the post, somebody said, which one's Trish Crave and which one's Oscar Crave? And then somebody commented, the busted one is Oscar Crave.
No.
So, and I think about it all the time. Maybe I should like put that out into the world, but that was a comment, and I think about it all the time. I'm like, oh my God.
I can't read the comments. I really can't.
And I read them because normally they're great. Like it's just a bunch of Trish fans. Like it's just like a fun little community we've created. But then as you know, there's a lot of Trisha Paytas haters out there, and they infiltrate quickly. And and very randomly too. Like I won't hear from them for a while, and then all of a sudden, like it'll hit their algorithm or something. There's a lot of hate watchers too that just like eat. Like they'll watch her stuff. I think honestly, sometimes more than the fans do.
For
and, like,
sure, I think that there's definitely that for everyone.
Yeah.
Like if you like Reddit is the scariest place ever,
It is.
ever. If you want to hate yourself,
snarks.
you just go on there because that's a dark place to be.
Yeah. And that's where the comment was.
Of course it was.
The busted one.
That's where Reddit goes to just they don't like anyone.
It's so interesting that those people found that platform to like use to talk and spread all this hate. Like, why is it Reddit? I don't know, but
I feel like
I guess it's anonymous, and it's like
yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder where snarking originated from, because I feel like I only really knew about it in like the last like maybe like 5-ish years or so. But before then, I mean, maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I thought it was kind of like how Discord is right now. Where like niche groups of people were like chatting in this place. Like that's what Reddit was to me. In my mind.
Yeah, and that's what I still thought it was, honestly, until recently. Like you said, I mean, I still like to use it for that. Like, Trish fans, we get on there and we talk about different things that Trish is up to, like her, new project. We're like, is she going to be on Hacks? Like, what is it? That kind of a thing. But then there's that whole other side that's like very ugly and scary. And it's like, why are you all spending your life doing this? It's sad. It's really sad, the haters. And honestly, like if you don't like somebody, just like maybe just move on. Don't.
Why do you want to watch?
Simple,
that's also my thing. I'm like, if you don't like it, don't consume it.
Yeah.
It's all good. You don't need to watch it.
No one's asking you to watch it, right? Well, I am interested in like knowing how you kind of choose like what content to put out, because I think about all the news stories there are and like the different, everything going on in the influencer world. Like there's probably days where you probably could post 20 times, 30 times if you wanted to, but being more tailored and like, being realistic with your time, how do you choose what to post?
I just keep an eye out on like everything that I'm seeing and hearing. And that's really what it is. And plus, like, it's been a little while now where I'm like, okay, I know that the people that are subscribed to me like these sorts of topics or something like that. So if Tana goes on a podcast, probably want a recap of what she said on the podcast. So that will be a video. I'll like make a note to watch the episode, or I don't know. It's just certain shows will be of interest to people, like Euphoria updates, especially because it's just been so all over the place with when is the next season coming out, that anytime there's a Euphoria update, I'm like, okay, that's going to be a video. Or Mormon Wives, definitely certain reality shows people like hearing about. And also sometimes like the more niche it is, because I feel like Mormon Wives is super popular, but it's not like The Bachelor in a way where everyone is watching it. Like it's like a household name type show where everyone in the household like knows everybody in the cast and knows what's going on. And also with Mormon Wives, things get so messy where it's not just you're watching the show, but you're watching the reunion, and then you're watching everyone's TikTok and then their Instagram and then their Instagram story. So I'm just like screenshot. Eventually I'll sit down and put the timeline of events together. But that's kind of the fun of it, like piecing the story together and like organizing it for people. Because sometimes I'm like, I want a video like that to watch too, where I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I need this explained to me right now from the beginning to end. Like,
I think you can see the hole in the market where it's like nobody's really reporting on this and like recapping it. And some shows, they're like, what's the show that you did a lot of videos on over the summer?
Love Island.
Love Island, yeah. I haven't gotten into that just yet, but they do like 3 shows a week, 4 shows, sometimes every night or something like that.
It comes on every day but Wednesday, and Saturday is crazy. The sort of like recap episode. So it's not a real episode, but sometimes I show behind the scenes. Yeah, that's
insane. And that makes sense. People need that recap, because I'm sure not everybody's watching every single episode. Who has time,
If I missed an episode, it was like you just felt so behind, because then everyone's talking about it, especially last season of Love Island and this season of Love Island, everyone was tuned in on it. That I was just like, oh my gosh, like how much content did I just like get myself into with like paying attention to like all these people?
And now you've become the people waiting to recap everything for them. So they're like, okay, Christy, where's it? Where's my recap?
And then the drama continued like way after the show too. So yeah, I don't know. And most of the time it's just about talking about what I like and consume anyways.
I love that. Yeah, I love that because I think that that's a lot about kind of how I started with this. You know, I love Trisha and the podcast, and I watched it for like a good year every single like Tuesday, Thursday as soon as it would drop. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to start just like posting about Trish and Oscar. And then, yeah, I think it's really cool to see how you pick things also based on your interests and things like that too.
Yeah, I feel like when you talk about things that you're interested in, people like genuinely like and know, they can recognize it. It just like flows better, or they feel like they're talking to a friend and you're just like on FaceTime when you're recapping whatever it is you're talking about. Whereas if you were talking about something like if you were to talk about Love Island, people would be like, what? Maybe I don't think you actually watched that. Yeah. So, yeah.
How has being signed to UTH kind of switched things up for you recently?
I mean, maybe sounds way cooler than it is. I don't know, because
I think it's pretty cool.
It's cool, and it does feel like I have a place where if I have ideas for things, I can go and see maybe what can happen. So there's prayers in the air for some good things. Yeah. But I have management that I chat with like every day where we're talking more just on the day-to-day about brand deals or events and just ways to take advantage of things I'm going to and content to create. And when bigger things come along, then they loop in UTA.
Do you think that UTA kind of has helped you get to these red carpets more and more, or was it those things you already had before you got signed to UTA? Like,
honestly, no. I don't even think they pitched me to that kind of stuff. I think a lot of that has been through either just management or social media. Okay. And mostly TikTok and Instagram. Most of these people like don't even really know about YouTube at all. They're just on short form and swiping, and they're like, okay, this person talked about this show or this movie, like let's send them to this thing that's coming up.
That's interesting to hear you say Reels, because I think I focus so hardcore on TikTok, I forget to post everything I post to TikTok over in Reels.
Yeah, it's hard.
Do you post everything that you post to TikTok to Reels, or you switch it up a little bit?
I did for a period of time, and now I just post some things because I'm like, I don't know, like Instagram still feels like scary to me for some stupid reason that like shouldn't even matter, but it just feels like it needs to be a little bit more curated for Instagram, which
it does feel that way. Yeah,
I don't know
and
what
TikTok
it is.
Feels like you can just put out whatever. You know,
TikTok feels like I'm like writing in my diary. I'll post the most just random video of me like venting about dog food.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, great, but I'm not posting that on Instagram. Like, and people are like, what?
There's something with like, I think the psychology of it all, because on Instagram, I think we are so focused on like engagement and likes and everything. And TikTok, it's like, you know, you just kind of realize not everything's going to stick over there too, because, and I mean, you're the biggest influencers, like, you know, Trisha with over 10 million followers or whatever, she'll put something out and it gets, 5,000 likes. And sometimes things just don't stick. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it makes you feel better to like, oh, I can just post kind of whatever over here. And then the Instagram of it all kind of feels like the traumatic response of like being in high school and like
a little bit
the likes not being what your friends are getting or whatever, that kind of thing.
I think it has something to do with the For You page too. Like when you open up TikTok, you're on the For You page where you're not seeing the videos of the people that you follow right when you open the app. So I'm just under the impression, I'm like, even if people do follow me, like they're not going to even see it. Like,
Oh, right.
It's just like, it's hitting randoms. Okay. But on Instagram, like I'm on their feed. They're getting that. They know I'm posting. And if they don't like it, then they don't like it. And I'm going to know.
Okay. Well, I guess just like thinking about your future with Spill Sesh and maybe like what is your big dream with it? Like where do you want to take it one day? If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I love just pop culture news and entertainment news, and I think diving deeper into some of the stories that I've posted about, I would love to take it to a different level. I mean, that would be my ultimate dream. I just told Sloan today that, I don't know if you know Stephanie Sue, the Rotten Mango girl.
No.
She covered the entire Diddy trial, and she got asked to do it as press, and everyone was like, that's so random, because she just like has a podcast on YouTube. I mean, she has millions of followers and everyone loves her, but they just found it very random. And then today she said that she was a producer in the Diddy documentary on Netflix. And I was like, oh, no wonder she was press, because she was working on this doc, probably why she was there. I'm like, that's crazy. That she used to do mukbang videos and talk about true crime, and now she's doing that. Front and I'm lines. Like, wow, that is I would love to tell stories on that level. So
that's cool.
Some prayers in there for something like that.
Yeah. The storytelling of it all too is like what I keep hearing you say is like you really love the storytelling aspect, and I think that's so cool. I love the storytelling aspect too, and just like there's so many different kinds of people in the world. These stories come out about people. It's insane sometimes. I guess before, because I know we need to wrap it up soon. I really like want to touch on like your content and like how you've decided to kind of stay more objective, I guess. Have you kind of felt like you've maybe gone more objective as time has gone on, maybe? Or how do you feel like you can navigate that between being more objective and being more opinionated in your videos?
I think when there's like crimes or, you know, something is like blatantly wrong or inappropriate, I'm like, yeah, I'll give my opinion. But sometimes there's so many different opinions on the internet when it comes to just like a random pop culture story that I'm like, well, let me just tell the story with all the information that I know, all the sides, how people are reacting on the internet, and then just like leave it up for interpretation. Because that's like how I would want the news given to me. And that's how it is when you're reading articles and things like that. So I feel like that's just the angle that I try to approach things when I'm reporting on them, and try not to be like so vicious about things, even though I feel like when you're in the pop culture space and you're talking about celebrities, people always just maybe assume that you're nasty or like nosy or whatnot. But I feel like I'm never really going around like digging for things. Things just are public. And then I'm like, okay.
It's just kind of is what it is you're just, you know, reporting on what's happening. It's not like you're totally, like you said, digging things up. So.
And a lot of it's fun. Like most of the stories are fun. Like especially on TikTok, I'm like, you guys, like this movie's coming out. This show I'm watching is so good. Just
keeping it light. Yeah. I love that. Okay. Well, I have a couple of fun personal questions to wrap it up with. What's one celebrity you would love to interview?
Taylor Swift.
I'm a Swiftie too, big time Swiftie. My husband and I actually got engaged at the Eras tour.
No way.
Yeah, so
what song?
Love Story.
At
Nashville night 2.
Oh,
and,
I love.
So we know Taylor got Time Person of the Year a couple years ago.
Yeah.
If you go to that article on there's a video on the page, and we actually got interviewed by Time, and we're in that article. So it was really cool to kind of like be a small part of the Time Person of the Year article that year.
Oh my God,
but
stop.
Huge Swiftie, so love that. I didn't know that about you.
Big Swiftie.
Okay, who is your celebrity crush growing up?
I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like,
I was Troy Bolton. It was like Zac Efron.
Okay,
was my celebrity crush,
Troy was really good. I'm like, I don't even know. Yeah, I'm the worst. Like, it's so random. Like Danny Phantom.
Okay, I can get on board with that. I love. My husband is probably like cheering right now at home because he wanted to dress up as Danny Phantom for Halloween. I don't think we made it happen, but eventually we will.
That's a fun one.
Yes. Okay, you're stranded on an island. Okay, and you can only watch one show or maybe one like, you know, creator forever. Who would that be, or what show would it be?
It would be Sex and the City.
Love.
It's just the Bible. A creator. I feel like I have to say Trisha because she'd keep me up to date with what's going on until I got off the island, honestly. I know everything that's going on.
No, seriously. Yeah, it's just like we don't, as Trish fans, we don't really like watch the news or like scroll too much because literally Trish and Oscar give us all the news.
I know,
funny enough.
I watch it and I'm like, what did I miss? Like, what did I miss that Oscar like got for me?
Well, that's funny that you say that because they get all their news from you. Every
really cross comparing notes.
Yeah, every other episode, they're like, "Oh yeah, I was looking at Spill Sesh the other day, and she posted about this, and this." Like, Trisha is basically just scrolling your stuff. How does that feel to have the queen of the internet scrolling your content, trying to come up with content for her own podcast? What is that like?
I'm like, girl, we're doing the same thing. Because I'm like, sometimes Oscar gets these niche stories and I'm like, oh, like that's good.
Yeah, he is good. He's good. The journalism of
it's
it.
It's a trade-off.
Yes. Well, Christy, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So great. It went so fast.
I know. An hour. What?
I know. It really does. Like, I was telling my husband this. I was like, we sit down and do an interview or like we do a podcast together and I'll have all these things that I want to talk about and we'll get to like 2 or 3 things. I'm like, oh my God, time really goes fast when you're just locked in, or as we just say, in the flow state of it all.
We reached flow state.
I think we did. Well, this was amazing. Definitely like, the nerves are there still a little bit, like, but it's my first time having a guest on. We're in a podcast studio. The lights are like so bright in here. The quality, you guys, I'm loving it. We've gone up a notch. So, guys, next week we have a guest on. She's another Trisha Paytas fan, so watch out for that. We'll talk about some hot topics, take calls from the Hot Girl Crash Out Hotline, which is a segment on the podcast where you guys call in and you crash out about anything. We say crashing out is a very broad term, right? So you can crash out about something awful that happened in your life. Maybe you got laid off and you just really don't have anybody to talk about. Call us. We'll maybe give you some advice, react to it on air. If you're crashing out because your favorite artist dropped, a new album, you can call about that. It can be good, bad, the in-between. We just love hearing from you all. So give us a call. The number is on the screen. And before we go, Christy, is there anything you would like to shout out? Obviously, you guys probably already know Christy. You're probably already following like us. But if you just want to shout everything out and maybe what's coming up for you?
Well, Spill Sesh on everything, which is new on TikTok. Thank God. No more underscore.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But Spill Sesh on everything. And then Sloan and I have our podcast Poppity, so you can check it out. We're eating in the car with a bunch of people and chatting about who's blocked us.
I love it. It's such a vibe over there. I love Poppity. And when we wrap up the Club Crave podcast, we always say bye, divas, to the cameras. Ready?
Bye, divas. I'm like, I don't even know which one I was looking at.
Any of them work. All right. Thank you.